Hello and welcome to join me, ADG, and here we are for round 3, race 5 of the wide open throttle Group 4 and Group 3 car championship. So this time round we're in for another half an hour race, as they all are, at Laguna Seca. And yes, this is race 1 of the 2 races. So we'll quickly go through the qualifying order. 15-minute qualifying session goes into these results. So ADG 123, which is me, put it in pole position in the Audi TT, the cheat car, some people say. Munguinho in second position. I always say, well, why didn't you pick it? Munguinho in second in the VW. Scirocco. ADX Dawson, worth a little explanation. He's the current Fusion champion if you follow the MRC GTTCC. He's pretty much the fastest guy in the MRC at the moment, so good to see him involved in our racing. Cafe Del Mar in fourth, another guy that's joined us this week but seemed perfectly competent at times. Hard, good, competent racer, but aggressive at times. GT Deli B in fifth. We've got Rep Paul in sixth. Bad angle for the cars now. We've got Ginger Crackhead in seventh. Diablo in eighth. Chris 74 Mac in ninth. Angus McCourt up in 10th. Robus the Hood in 11th. Surprisingly far back, Robus. I don't know why. Just didn't quite get a lap together in qualifying, I don't think. Struggling in the Jag. Wilkinator, which is another guy that's jumped in with us this week for the first time, in 12th. That Smoke in 13th. Jules, another guy new to us, in 14th. And then we've got Street Boy right at the back in 15th. Street Boy's won a few races in this championship so far, so surprising to see him right at the back. But I'm guessing, I won't pay much attention because obviously I'm concentrating on my own qualifying, but I'm guessing he had a bit of an issue and didn't quite manage to get a fast lap in, because I would expect him to be higher up than right at the back. So anyway, we'll get underway. That's a terrible intro, so if you're new to me, it's normally, well, dare I say it, is it normally better than that? But I'd like to say it's normally better than that. But there you go, that's what you get this time round. So we're away, jump up to me and look back. We'll jump on board with Munguinho actually. And then we can look forward to how he's doing to me, and then look back to Dawson. Look back further through the field as well. So Cafe Del Mar has already got quite a big gap on GT Deli B, but some of the guys had to start around the last corner, so a bit unfair for these guys compared to us at the front. Ginger Crackhead in 7th, pulling up to the back of Wrecked Paul straight away, putting a little bit of pressure on through the first couple of corners. Good to see. Good races, Ginger Crackhead. Well, everyone is, to be honest, in this championship. We'll look a bit further back as there's a bit of action going on. Robert the Hood up a position already from 11th up into 10th. Angus behind him goes wide on the grass, has a big spin. Jules manages to come through. Wilkinator comes through. No problems from those guys. Dart Smoker trying to make up a position on Jules behind. But that's Street Boy also up a position now. So we'll jump further forward, see what's going on. We've got Ginger Crackhead right on the back of Rep Paul still. Still lap one, pushing through the corkscrew there by the look of it. Ginger Crackhead to try and make up the chance down this section to get a move them, but not quite making it work. Wrecked Paul leading away in the Jaguar at the moment. I'll stop looking back now. Switch up the camera angles. Camera angle. I can't speak tonight. It's not even tonight, it's today. This afternoon. What is wrong with me? Oh dear, it's going to be a good one. So Munguinho and Dawson incredibly close together. I've just tried to get as best a first lap in as possible and gain a little bit of a gap to Munguinho, which I've managed just about at this point in the race. Like I say, Dawson one to watch in this race. It's an interesting one as well, because one little moment round Laguna Seca, it's a tricky track. As you can see, there's no runoff anywhere, so if you have one little moment, it's almost like as bad as a street circuit in that regard. I'd almost prefer a street circuit with barriers, so if you hit the barrier you go slowly, but there's no barriers to hit on here. If you go wide, you go wide, and there we see it from Dawson on the second lap, spins it, drops it down, from 3rd position into 5th currently as he gets going again. Cafe Del Mar inherits 3rd position now, and GT Deliby up into 4th. Me and Munguinho gain a little bit of respite from Dawson's challenge after that spin from Dawson. Wrecked Paul now up into 5th. Dawson down into 7th after that. Ginger Crackhead up into 6th. Diablo running around a little bit on his own at this point, trying to catch up. Chris, similar position, and then we've got Wilkin here, all a bit of a gap between these guys. Not a big gap, but nothing majorly close between these guys going on now. So Roberts the Hoods dropped right back into 15th with a bit of an incident along the way. Jules going a little bit wide for the last corner. Tricky corner to get right is that last corner. I struggle every single lap. So Ginger Crackhead and Rex Paul having a good race already, and we're only on lap 3. But Ginger Crackhead putting the pressure on so far, and Rex Paul managing just to keep that cool head, keep his head down and put those laps in, keep in front of Ginger Crackhead even though he's challenging. GT Deliby right in the back of Cafe Del Mar, a new guy to us this week, but seemed quite quick and qualified in 3rd position at the end of the day. So was it 3rd? Yeah, I think it was 3rd. I should write it down, but I never do. Dale having a sniff, seeing where he can catch up, where he might be able to dive on the brakes. But at the moment the TT's got the lead on him. Looks like he's closing it down, closing up down into that corner, the last corner. Right behind him now in the slipstream, down the longest straight on the track pretty much. And that's not even straight. So can Deli do it? Can he have a bit of a dive this lap into T1? Not quite. Double apex is T1, bit of a tricky corner. Just got to manage your braking into there, make sure you're not going too deep. Good job from those guys. Munguinho going a little bit wide as we jump up to Munguinho. Just carrying a little bit too much speed through the second real corner, and gathering a little bit of dust as he goes a little bit wide into the sand. So I've gained a bit of a gap now to Munguinho at this point, but all is not over. Oh, look, there I go, off I go from 1st position. I'm off all of a sudden. Managed to get back on track, keep 1st position, but the gap has come down massively now to Munguinho behind. So I had a nice healthy gap as a few little incidents had happened behind, and I was just managing the pace. But then that little mistake, well, big mistake, but I managed to get away with it just about and not have a bigger mistake. But it's definitely closed up me and Munguinho, but then we see Munguinho going a little bit wide, so just giving me a little bit of breathing space there, Munguinho. Cafe Del Mar closing up on the back of Munguinho now after a few little moments on the sand, and then GT Deliby right in his slipstream still. Dawson getting back into this race now, back up into 5th position from 7th. Managed to get past Ginger Crackhead and Rex Paul by the look of it. Rex Paul is down into 7th and Ginger Crackhead's finally got past him. So they were battling away for the first few laps, and eventually, I've missed what's gone on, but Ginger Crackhead's got the move done eventually, and Rex Paul's dropped back. Rex Paul now getting challenged by Diablo in the GTR, closing in on him. Let's go further back. Chris is driving around on his own at this point. Wilkinator's in the gravel, so Dart Smoker drives through up into 10th. Angus, is he going to come through? There we go, Angus comes through, and so does, who was that, Street Boy? So Wilkinator dropping right to the back now. Roberts up into 13th, Street Boy in 12th, Angus in 11th, Dart Smoker in 10th. So big moment there for Wilkinator, new guy in this championship this season, not this season, sorry, this race in particular. Getting a bit carried away here. A lot of action to commentate on, and I'm in a good mood for a change, which is a rare thing. Diablo right on the back of Rex Paul. Let's keep an eye on Diablo, the feisty Australian. Been teammates with Diablo in the past, and certainly knows what he's doing. especially when there's tyre wear and fuel involved. Not quite closing the gap down the straight, so having to just follow through T1. Anyway, we'll skip back up again, see what else is going on. We've got Dawson challenging right on the back of GT Delhi B. It seems like it's going to be one of them replays where I'm just going to make loads of mistakes, so please do forgive me. I can't get my words out. GT Delhi E, I can't say it. GT Delhi B getting passed there by Dawson with a really good move. Delhi not fighting it too hard, thinking better of it and letting Dawson through almost quite easily, and then just getting on Dawson's slipstream and following him basically. Cafe Del Mar is Dawson's next target. As we know, Dawson in these Group 4 cars is a quick guy. So we're expecting, even though he's had an incident early on and he's dropped back a little bit, expecting him to come back through. So Munguinho doing a good job. Had a couple of little incidents as we were watching earlier. I might have to restart this in a minute if I make many more mistakes. Me coming through to start lap 7. At some point I need to keep an eye on myself, because I don't keep that lead for the whole race. I know that for sure. It's a bit of a bitter moment for me, if I'm honest. I had the race under control and I chucked it away. But we will see what happens. I don't have no spoilers. Skip up the camera angles a little bit, see what's going on this way. Dawson slowly but surely catching Cafe Del Mar in the TT. Good car around here is the TT. Oh, that's me having my incident, so there we go. Gone off through the tricky fast left-hander. Caught too much gravel on the exit, and GT Delhi B being kind to me there could have probably forced the issue on the corkscrew there, but just sat in behind me and went through the corkscrew behind me as I struggled to get going again as I've got dirty tyres. So Dawson now up into third and battling away for second right behind Cafe Del Mar. Two guys that don't normally race in this championship so far anyway, but have joined us this week. Munguinho now a regular that joins us normally in first position. Really good job from Munguinho. Kept going in second position, kept the pace going, and eventually it's paid off for him. Unfortunately it was at my detriment, so big mistake from me, dropped me back from first into fourth. I was lucky to keep fourth and not drop into fifth really, with Delhi being a bit generous to me through the corkscrew. It would have probably resulted in contact, so it's the smart move from Delhi if I'm completely honest, but it's a hard thing to do sometimes, is actually just drop in behind and not actually push for that overtake when you can see someone having an incident in front of you and struggling a little bit. So fair play to him. Good mates with Delhi, and it's always good to give a bit of respect both ways. Ginger Crackhead in sixth. Just looking to close up on the back of Delhi now and get back into this race for the higher positions. It's not happening too far in front of him, so if we can get a good couple of laps in, there's potential to get back into this race and potentially claw another couple of positions out of it, depending on what happens. We're only 10 minutes in, so we're roughly a third of the way into the race. Wrecked Paul, bit of a gap in front and behind him now. Diablo, similar position. Oh no, not quite behind him though. Chris 74 Mac right behind Diablo. So it's Aston Martin versus GTR at the moment. Chris is really quick. I don't know why I keep being surprised that Chris is really quick on certain tracks, but certain races I've had with Chris and he's unbeatable. He's just, I feel like I'm doing the best laps of my life and he's still pulling away, so certain times Chris is a really quick guy, and I think he's more or less unbeatable on certain tracks anyway. So credit to him. Certainly a good competitor. Diablo trying his luck, looking for the inside line, but it's not going to quite work through here. Drops back in to take as much speed as possible through that corner, and then looks to make an opportunity out of nothing if it creates itself in front of him. Not this time round though. Chris keeps it nice and calm through the corkscrew. Anyway, we'll drop back and see what else is happening. Dat Smoker in 13th now, drops back a little bit. He was a bit higher up earlier on. Managed to get into 10th, I think. Robust the Hood back up into 12th. Good to see. Good racer is Robust, running around a bit further back than I would expect. Angus McCurt up in 11th. That is no dig, Robust. I'm just trying to do commentary. I know what you're like. You'll take that personally. You'll take that personally, the fact that I've mentioned that as well. No offence. Street Boy in 10th. Diablo 9th. Battling away with Chris for 8th. Rep Paul on his own. He's Ginger Crackhead catching up with Deli. Let's have a look. Doesn't look like he's too far behind, but still not managed to get into that slipstream range. The crucial slipstream range. Deli B still behind me at this point in time, and I've managed to get myself back up to the guys in front. So Dawson's up into 2nd. He's managed to get past Cafe Del Mar, and now I'm battling away to try and get back onto the into the podium. Cafe Del Mar gave me a good old race in the TT. Obviously both in the same car, very equal performance between us, and Cafe Del Mar was equally as quick as I was around this track in it, so I had to look for the small margins and try and make those count for me. I don't really like focusing too much on my own race, but if it's part of everyone else's race, then I don't mind it too much. Cafe Del Mar not too far away from Dawson either, so there's fully potential for 2nd place for 3 people here at the moment. Dawson, Cafe Del Mar and myself. Munguinho at this point has got a nice gap, already quite a way up the road to Dawson, with a good couple of seconds in between. And then I'm putting a bit of pressure on Cafe Del Mar. Trying to force a little bit of an error from him if I can, but without compromising my own lines and my own braking too much. This time round, pushing right on the back of him through these fast sweeping corners. It's a really good track list when you're driving well. When you're driving badly, it can be horrendous. So again, incredibly close pace between Cafe Del Mar and myself. Just kept pretty much the same gap through that last lap between us. And if I look at the lap times, he's just done a 1:26.485 and I've just done a 1:26.360, so slightly faster time from me, but nothing massive in it. Dawson with a 26.5, so he's dropped back slightly on that last lap to us two. Anyway, Munguinho up the road, doing a really good job. Credit to the leader. I always try and drop in on the leader. It's not always the most exciting to watch the leader go around on his own, but this time round, Munguinho working hard in this race to get up from 2nd position into 1st in the first place, and then managing to drive away with it when he has done. So really good. GT Deli B in 5th at the moment. Dropped off the battle in front of him a little bit. Ginger Crackhead is a really good close racer, is Ginger Crackhead. You can trust him side by side and have some really good battles with Ginger Crackhead if you ever have the chance. But this time round, unfortunately, driving around on his own at the moment. Anyway, wrecked Paul behind him in 7th. Chris now in 8th. Diablo dropped right off the back of him. He was incredibly close, challenging Chris corner after corner, but not any longer. Street Boy in 10th, Angus in 11th, Robus in 12th, not far behind Angus, so let's see who wins out between those two in the end. That Smoker in 13th and Wilkinator sat in the pits now, retired from the race. So we'll jump back up and see what's going on between us at the top. Still trying to apply that pressure as best I can to Cafe Del Mar. Nothing seems to be working for me at the moment. Going to have to come up with a bit of a different strategy and plan, and actually be able to really put some pressure on, get right on his bumper. Tricky to catch him right up, to be fair. We've already seen Dawson have a bit of a moment round this track early on. Can he keep it going and keep that second position going now with that little bit of pressure that's right behind him? So here I go this time round. Go for the inside into T1. Make sure that it's an obvious move. Get the braking done. Audi TT versus Audi TT. Cafe Del Mar just goes a little bit deep into there. I managed to make the most of that and just pull out of that first corner a bit more, carry a bit more speed, should I say, better way to phrase it, and Cafe Del Mar losing out a little bit. So I managed to just get myself through into 3rd and have the chance to chase down the mighty Dawson in front of me now. 2/3 of the way through this race now. So 20 minutes has nearly gone by. Another 10 to go. All dies down a little bit now, I think, towards the front. Not a lot of action going on, or I've missed the majority of it if it has been, just by watching different stuff. Whoa, wrecked Paul having a big moment through the corkscrew on the exit there. Nice catch though, good car control, and gets it going again. Makes it less of an issue than it could have been. The second race of these 2 races on Friday night is a reverse grid, so there's that to bear in mind. So these guys that are further back obviously have more of an opportunity in the second race to have a good start and get off to a good result right from the start. Robus in 11th now, made up another position. He was in 12th for quite a while. Angus Makoto coming through on him though, as Robus is ghosting for some reason. So Angus takes 11th position quite easily off Robus there. That Smoker might even have a chance to get past him. Not sure what's going on for Robus there, but it's not good. It looks like he's back in the game now, but he's lost the position there. So let's see what else is going on. Still got me and Cafe Del Mar, and Cafe Del Mar's back up into 3rd, so he's managed to get back past me, but I'm not happy about it by the look of it, and I'm right on his bumper. This was a really good race, even though I felt like I chucked it away a little bit. I felt like I could have possibly have won this race if I'd have kept it clean up front, but it turned into a really good race because of this, dropping back a little bit and then battling away with this Cafe Del Mar. New guy that I've never raced against before, but certainly had a bit of respect between us, and being in the same car as well, it was quite interesting. Down the inside on the brakes, get past him for third there. Managed to get the run up the hill as well to keep it in front of him nicely. He'll look to get the revenge on me though into the corkscrew if there's any opportunity whatsoever to do so. Luckily this time round they get it nice and clean. So the battle for third between me and Cafe Del Mar is quite a good one in this race, if I do say so myself. Ginger Crackhead now catching up to GT Deli B a little bit. Deli's not too far off us in front, the group in front should I say, but there's only 6 minutes left before, well 6.5 minutes left before the race is coming to a close. Again, Ginge closing up a little bit by the look of it on GT Deli. Not that far behind. Try and keep an eye again on everyone. Diablo up into 10th now. Street Boy, which started right at the back, it's worth mentioning, in 14th place it was. He's now in 9th, so good job in this race from Street Boy. At the end of the day, it can look like the guys at the front have had a really good race, but they might have only gained a position or two. It's actually the guys at the back that can have a really good race, because they can gain 6, 7, 8 positions if they have a really good race. So it's always worth a bit of a mention. So Street Boy having a good race, even though he's not in the fight for the lead. He's still made up a fair few positions in this race. Diablo in 10th, like I've already said. Dark Smoker in 11th, so running quite well now is Dark Smoker. Managed to make up a position on Angus Makoto and Robus the Hood. So blue flag's been waved for Robus by the look of it. Oh, who's that? Street Boy going wide after saying all that. And managing to get going again, but Diablo just takes that 9th off him. So Diablo now up into 9th, and Street Boy dropping back, letting me down a little bit after saying all that about him. I'm joking. These things happen, it's racing. Just trying to introduce a little bit of humour. Ginger Crackheads, come on. Deli's just doing a really good job of keeping that gap to him, not letting Ginger Crackhead catch him whatsoever. Cafe Del Mar now dropped off the back of me a little bit. Now I'm back up into third, and I'm trying to get myself up into the lead for first. If you look now, Dawson's right on the back of Munguinho. As the back markers have come into play, I think Munguinho's lost out a little bit, and it's closed up the gap to Dawson behind now, so the battle for first is on. Dawson, even though he's having a good race here, it doesn't count towards any championship points because he's not actually involved in the championship, just filling in for a few of the drivers that couldn't join us this week. And what a filling in driver, you couldn't ask for any better really. So not quite getting the pace in the Lexus to be able to challenge on the Scirocco into the first corner this time round anyway. Coming towards the end now, these are the last couple of laps we're watching now. Cafe Del Mar going a little bit wide on the exit. I've got right into this battle now, so it's getting to the point where it's closing right up, and I can make something happen out of this if possible. So I get side by side with Dawson. There's a bit of a moment that happens here though, I believe. I can't remember exactly what happened, if I'm honest. It all becomes a bit of a blur after it happens in a split second sometimes. So Dawson back up into second after a bit of a challenge from myself. Goes a little bit wide on the exit of the corkscrew, then we end up going 3 wide. Dawson with a little bit of a rub on both of us, well, onto me I think, pushing me and Munguinho wide, so I felt that that wasn't my fault, even though I ended up off track and I let Munguinho go back through. It was one of them, it felt like my fault at the time, but Dawson up into first after that. Good move at the end of the day. We were 3 wide and it was us on the outside, Dawson on the inside through that corner, so Dawson did have the racing right to do that, but it did cause a bit of an incident between me and Munguinho, who both ended up in the gravel. So good move, but at the same time it was ill placed from us all, going 3 wide really through that corner. One of us should have backed out. I feel like it should have been me because I was the one that had caught up, but I just saw my opportunity and I just thought, I've been trying to catch these guys for ages, this is my one chance to try and get past, possibly get into the lead, and I went for it, and I should have possibly backed out and made sure there wasn't 3 wide into there basically. So apologies from my point of view, but at the same time it was just one of them racing incident really. Dawson winning out from it though, so Dawson in first, Cafe Del Mar up in second now, Munguinho into third, me, ADG in fourth, got GT Deliby right behind me now with Robert Sahoud a back marker in between us, Gerson. GT Deliby's closed right into the back of me with that moment, let's call it. Ginger Crackhead not far behind this battle either, so still opportunity maybe from Ginger Crackhead to make up a position if it all goes wrong in front of him. 1 lap to go, coming over the line for the final time now. So Dawson and Cafe Del Mar are away now, nice gap in between them. Munguinho must have been absolutely fuming after that one. He's led for a long time in this race and had a really good race, and ended up being an incident that wasn't really his fault that ended up putting him off track. So apologies from my point of view again, Munguinho. It was partly me to blame, and like I say, I should have backed out of going 3 wide through there, but it was the first opportunity I had of retaking the lead for about 20 minutes, so I was going to go for it. That's just our drive, I'm afraid. This time round it didn't work out. So Munguinho still doing a good job though on the final step of the podium. Me in fourth. Let's go back a bit further before we watch the leaders come over the line. Nothing massively going on. Chris 74 Mac in 8th, Diablo in 9th, Street Boy right behind him for 10th. Anyway, we'll watch the leaders come over the line. Dawson comes towards the last corner now, through the last corner, and brings it home in first. Good race for Dawson. Dropped back at the start to have a good comeback race. Second, Cafe Del Mar in the end. Munguinho in third, and shortly followed by me behind in fourth. GT Deliby not far behind either in fifth. Ginger Crackhead in sixth. Wrecked Paul is going to bring it home in seventh. Good job from Wrecked Paul. Went backwards a little bit but managed to maintain that position. 8th in the end for Chris. 9th for Diablo, or is it? As he goes wide through the second to last corner. Oh, third to last corner should I say. Street Boy's got a chance. Coming into the last one now. Tight left hander. Oh, and Diablo bins it. Absolutely bins it. Street Boy finishes in 9th in the end. Diablo in 10th. That Smoker in 11th. Anchor Smoker up in 12th. Oh, here when he runs out like that. Robert Hood in 13th, I think. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. I've been ADG. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you again for the next one. Take care. See you again soon. Hopefully very soon, because I'm going to do the race 6 replay, sorry, very soon as well. Adios. Cheers for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care.